Do they like control you guys, like remote you? Just come alone.
I'm also a model, as you can see, and I'm currently Miss KZN Queen finalist.
You literally, when it comes to your clothes, they're very cheap. They're very cheap because there used to be like also like rumors of like for you to be Miss South Africa or Miss what must be a virgin.
It's like, can you also switch on your mic? But like, I'm surprised, like that person, that's what you're, feel like it's more of a clear depiction of Mandela.
Excuse me?
Yeah, that's what I'm basically saying. When you say a person looks like someone, basically you're saying, oh shucks, this is how this nigga is gonna look when he's old.
No, that's not why I said you look like Wesley's.
No,
Wesley's life.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot to do mic test. It's going. Yeah. But you're still saying sorry to cut you, huh?
I said you look like Wesley's type because the skin color was similar.
Oh, but
like
it's chocolate, right?
Yeah, for me, when I say someone looks like someone, it's not necessarily like hypo. You look like a carbon copy.
Yes.
It's like you look like you have a similar trait to the person I'm comparing with. For instance, if I said someone looks like Beyonce, I do not mean you do
you are
look
not
like
you.
Beyonce. Something of you and Beyonce is similar.
Ek verstaan jy, yo.
Yeah, you get me.
But hey man, welcome to Friday Facts.
Hey.
We are back. I am back on camera. Let's do a happy dance. I'm playing. What the F was that? But
I'm cringing.
Man, you see now.
I'm cringing.
But yeah, I'm not here alone. I'm here with.
You are here with the amazing person that I am.
All right.
Miss Paul. Yeah, I would say Miss into the O, Miss. No, you can't say yes, but
Yes.
I will say no.
Miss into the that's a good one.
Yeah.
And then we got Kyle Stenner on the mic.
Check. You already know the vibes, bringing you good times, good vibes.
Yes,
you already
sir.
know we're about to talk a whole lot
And
of
he's
smack.
back after a long time.
We're back like we never left.
Look,
I hope you missed me.
Back like someone's father in their life.
Okay, where's the tree? Because shit just got shady.
They came back from
Today,
getting
she
the
came
milk.
very prepared today, like who pays great ever since it's
Pew, 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 shots fired. Oh, it's on, girl. Bring it.
Bring it. But yeah, man, we have a very interesting show coming up next today. It has been a very busy week. It's exam test week. Everything is happening, right? So I want us to play like an alphabet game. Right?
Okay.
Kyle, I want you to explain how we play the game.
Okay, so this game is pretty simple.
Yes.
You won't have to beat your head up about it. Basically, we'll be creating a story using the first letter of the alphabet. So I'll start with A, making a sentence with the letter A. Mandla will do B, you will do C, but we'll do E, and we will just go on and on
Like the alphabet.
until we eventually create a story.
All right.
You know,
So-
but the topic is church.
Oh, we're in the church.
We're in the church. We're taking it to church.
Okay, can I start?
You can actually.
Amen.
Oh, be grateful. I have to start with grateful, or I just.
You start with the next.
The
letter.
next album, B, C.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
Cast your burdens.
Drown your sorrows.
What is the next alphabet?
Yeah, it's up. Hey.
Like say the ABCs in your mind quickly.
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm playing. Everything is gonna be alright if you trust in God.
Faith over fear. Greatness lives within you.
Great. Okay.
Heavenly Father, help us.
What is after H?
I receive.
D, H. What is after H?
I.
H-I.
I give my life to the Lord.
Jesus lives.
Oh, you got a nice one.
She always gets the nice alphabets. Like what?
No, I will always be with you.
You said K, right?
No, I said J.
J.
She's K.
K. No. Oh, I thought you
Alright,
was
Mandla.
spelling one
No,
on one.
slowly. Long live the king.
M. My faith is in you.
No matter what. Over to you.
Praise his name. Is that?
Ha,
the right
Q is
track.
hard. Q, Ha, Q.
I will.
Quiet. Or like,
Like the opposite of something. Think of royal. Yeah. Exactly. It's not that
Quieting
hard.
and known by God. Is that
Quieting.
Quieting.
As in, keep quiet.
Oh,
And know I'm God instead of.
okay. Quiet and know I'm God. QP.
Praise Him.
R.
Receive my praise.
S.
say.
Send my love to you and you're the love.
You know, you had me on save though. Save our sinners.
Save our sinners. S. M. A, B, C. Okay, what is us that
S,
S?
T.
Eh?
T.
Trust and believe.
United in faith.
V. Bahari with the V.
Verily I say unto thee.
Oh, how about King James Version? Is that you? Jane.
With him by my side, all things are possible.
Okay, R. I'm on R, right?
The-
But we are past
We are,
R.
W,
We are past
X.
R.
You are X now.
X.
X.
Oh, he did W.
Say something.
Zion is a very. Oh, Zion is starting with it. Zion. Oh, okay.
Go.
Okay, a xylophone.
In the church. Okay, actually.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know what to say at this point. Ish. Let Shikwembu Shama Chim. It starts with an X in Tonga.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
But
Hold on.
We'll let it
Okay.
be. We'll let it slide.
Okay.
I don't know. They could judge. X.
Why?
Y.
Why me?
Yeah.
Ooh. You are almighty,
Why is it?
zealous for good works.
Oh, and that's how we are gonna be having our show. That was a very interesting one.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about church because I haven't been in church since 2019.
Damn, girl. That's.
Oh,
Yeah.
Might have to work on that one, hey?
that's like a long distance relationship.
Yeah. What did he ever do to you?
Let me tell you something. Let me explain, right? What then happens with church, right? It's because churches are very, I feel like it's a scam. Number one, there's tithe, right? Tithe, you pay money. I believe if you have a relationship with God, you don't have to be loud with it. Same way, if you love a person, me posting you doesn't mean that our relationship is becoming, it's a consummation of our relationship per se. Just because I don't post you now, it means that I love you less. You understand?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying on that point. I feel like just because you're standing in a garage doesn't make you a car either. So I kind of get where you're coming
Getcha.
from in terms of people using it as a
Scapegoat.
Scapegoat,
Yeah. And on top of that, churches sometimes are opened in order to run away from paying for tax.
from what?
Because isn't it they normally operate as an NPO?
Yeah, but like for me, I feel like sometimes people blame God instead of the people in the church. Because remember, it's not God that is doing these things. These are people within the church that are using God basically as a mask to cover all their wrongdoings in church. Because I feel like when it comes to tithe, you're not giving your tithe to the person. You're giving your tithe to like the prolonging of the message, so that the message get out there, to like make sure that the work is being done, that the work is being paid for. Because to have a church, because pastors need to get paid, the building needs to be kept up to a certain point, and that requires money. As much as we all we feel that he can do anything, it needs money to be able to sustain the church. So I feel like when people are blaming God for the tithes and that, it's the people that are in charge of the money. They are the people that are doing the wrong. So I feel like when accountability is given, we take the people away, but then we blame God. When it's not God telling them to do this stuff, it's out of their own free will that they are choosing to do this stuff.
It's
very
true.
good point.
Because I come from a different church. Each and every money that we offer, we see where it goes. There are projects within the church meant to uplift the youth. There's old age outreaches, children outreaches, school outreaches, so we know where each and every money goes. The building is well kept. Everything is up to par. There's no need for us to complain. We know that certain money goes towards the sound system. Certain money goes towards paying a channel that is on TV. So every money is accounted for. Because we are fishing souls. We want to reach out to the broader world. So when we are offering, we know where the money is going, and we do not turn a blind eye to that. In fact, we hold ourselves accountable to say, if we do not give to the church, then so much that's happening is not going to happen anymore. So it goes with the church, whether the pastor governs the church in the right way, accounts for every cent that the saints give, then everything is smooth. And then you do have churches that are scams, and you do have churches that are actually money laundering. So
You see, that's a good point.
You cannot blame God for it.
We can't blame him. That's why when I started my point, I was like, I'd rather have my relationship with him, and then that's my own problem with going to church, especially with my experiences with church. I've seen Christian church. I've went to an Adventist church so long even. I've went to a Catholic school for long. I've been in Catholicism for long. I've been Baptist, particularly the NBC. So with all those churches, the common denominator is that there's always a greater good, right, that they are trying to achieve. But then what you just said, you open my eyes. It's the people that handle the money that choose to do their own things, and now it becomes like everybody's doing it for the pastor. You see, now it becomes like, it's the pastor's money. It's the thingy. But at the end of the day, when you explain it, it's like the church still needs to run. It makes sense. But now when it's mandated to be 10%, you understand? And it's all the money. Church is the easiest place to launder money because there's no tax being paid. They do keep financial records, but that's if they have operating systems within the church, like having food schemes, scholarship schemes for schools and whatsoever. Now it makes me think, and also what pisses me off is how now we have church content creators. What's your thoughts on that before I even go?
I actually haven't seen one personally. I haven't seen someone that's
church creators.
I've seen some church content creators, and I feel like some content creators forget that it should be central to the message of the church. Because I get that we are trying to fit in with the world, but if you claim to be a follower of Christ, you should not be of the world, but you should be of Christ. So if I'm a church content creator and I want to be popular within the world, I should still stick within the church's message. So I feel like sometimes when I see a church content creator, I'm like, it's all good when you started it because now you're trying to get with the young social media kids, you're trying to get the message out there. But when it prolongs, it becomes now as in a thing of like, I need to follow this trend because I need to be popular within the group, and I need to be trending. It's not more focusing on the church now. It's more of now me and my group now.
Let me see what's the
Exactly.
most intellectual church verse
Exactly.
that could decipher today the word of God in
Exactly,
the King
'cause,
James
like,
Version Bible.
My journey with
see?
Christ does not need vlogging. You know, it does
see?
not need vlogging. Yeah, I can give my that's a way of like me giving my testimony, but like it's not necessary. Like people do not need to know the ins and the out and the days like of my whole like journey with Christ. So I feel like even in relation to like prayer, because like I feel like I don't like it in a sense where people try to what is the word I'm looking for here? You know, when people try to make their own like sermon in a prayer, you know, like they try to like psalm a prayer, like, you know, they try to like almost Shakespeare their prayer.
Yes.
No, I get like the poems and the verses and like the rhymes in the prayer, ne?
The rhymes in the prayer, yo. Yes.
I get that, but remember, it's a conversation between you and God.
Not the people around.
Exactly. Like I get that people are supposed to understand the prayer and feel the prayer, but like at a certain point, it's not more a conversation between me and him. It's me basically entertaining the crowd.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like when people, it doesn't need all that, because if I'm having a conversation with you and I just start randomly rhyming and singing in between,
and then I speak in tongues.
Exactly.
Am I gonna
get what I'm saying?
Worshiping, though, because we understand in the Bible that David was a poet. So we, as much as your relationship with God can be of a converse between you and Him, to some people, they actually they embody that David such that they speak to God in a poetic way. Even when you go to Songs of Solomon, he was very
Poetic,
flirtatious and all of that, but that was him admiring what God has given him. So it's I think it's different, or we can differ, or maybe we can say to such an extent, or yeah.
Because I understand your point there. Because like I'm not saying it's all bad. But I feel like not everyone should try to like fit that standard, because like I feel we're all individual. Like God knows who I am, and He knows the way I speak. So I do not need to fit the way someone speaks there, just because for me to feel in the church, I need to speak a certain way in my prayers, you know? Yeah. So like that's what I'm trying to say.
Don't jump enough, or
you know?
Emphasize your words there if you don't know how to pray.
Yeah. And I feel like people do judge you in terms of how you pray, because if you're gonna come there like preschool, you know, thank you Lord for our food, blessed in our bodies, you know, you there's people just trying to show off in terms of, you know, trying to show, you know, that I'm a better Christian, if I could say it in that way, than others. But I agree with both of you. It's a double-edged sword at the end of the day.
It is a double-edged sword. What makes me think when you reference the rhyming and everything, it's very, very profound what you just said. At the same time, I get where Bahati is coming from, because with some creators, right, we seek not intuition per se, but we seek the inspiration from God. Like for example, I'm at a backlog. I'm writing a show or I'm producing a show, and I'm like, what should I do? What should I do? And you're like, fuck this. And you'll be like, God, you know. And then later on in the day, like, ooh, let me do this. And then you think of a verse and like, oh, let me write it. And then it flows, especially even with poetry. When I used to write poetry, I used to tap into, like, at some degree, I leave who I am and look at myself from a third eye perspective and look at life from a different perspective. Now, I can't get to that point if I don't channel God, you understand? And it makes me interested in finding out, Uguti, with everything that is happening with churches, right? How is gonna be the next generation of churches? Because now We know that, like what you mentioned, the TV channels have to be paid. There is now live streams of churches. They're recording videos of us in church. They're even in funerals. Now funerals, they take videos of the funeral day. You understand? So now, how
Facebook
far we're
live
gonna take
streams and
it?
such. Yeah.
Now we're gonna end up having brand deals for going to church, like what Grace Mondlane did with her boy X. How she paid for the ex's wedding, and then she had to make sure that everybody in the world knows about it. So you can see now everybody is doing everything for show. The progression of what religion and faith is has deviated from where it started from the root mantra, or should I say, the core values of Christianity, baptism, Buddhism, or whatever religion a person may choose to align with, right? And yeah, man, that is very interesting. But I wanted to find out, Tuguti, did you hear that content creators are now going to be expected to pay tax?
Yeah. Honestly, this is one of those, because I feel like this one affects us personally as well, because you know, future brand deals and stuff.
Yes.
But it's really hard because, you know, being a content creator is sort of being an entrepreneur, and you know, starting your own thing from scratch. Not usually, people aren't really given any opportunities in those. And I feel like now that SARS is taking this opportunity to find ways into, you know,
it's dying out though, because the entrepreneurship aspect of content creation, the only person who knows that is when you are in content creation. If you're looking at it from the outside, you're like, I can also open my phone and put a camera on my face, and I'm gonna trend or whatsoever. I'm gonna switch on a camera, I'm gonna get a mic and open a podcast. But there's the entrepreneurial side of it. Like, for example, we're recording here. You have to have a way of contacting businesses. You have to be able to sell yourself. You have to be able to sell your numbers. And that is what entrepreneurship is about. It's starting something from scratch and building it from the ground up. Now, that aspect isn't looked at. Maybe that's why now they want us to pay tax, because now we are not different from street vendors, let's be honest now. Because it's an imperfect market. Now, if I'm using my economist mindset, content creation is an imperfect market, because an perfect market is characterized by easy entry. There's no barriers to entry. There's a lot of homogeneity, meaning that there's a lot of consumers selling the same product. There's a lot, so it becomes it's a market. So we are there. We are vendors. How are we expected to pay tax? But then...
But there's a certain threshold that you also have to take in mind. I think it's 60K that you need to be earning in order to be even considered for this type of tax, you know. So you need to be making a certain amount of money to be affected by this. But I still feel like, imagine when the bag comes, now you have to. But this is almost like a business. So at the end of the day, it kind of does make sense.
Not now, no.
The question that we should be asking ourselves is that, will South African content creators actually get paid from TikTok like the Americans do? If they need to pay tax, then it means that the app should revolve in that sense.
That's true, but then that is what the government was supposed to do, like a memorandum of demands in some type of way to fight not only for content creators, actors, to get revenue royalties. So it's like a long battle. But what is happening, right? SARS is gonna be levying taxes on sponsored post or brand deals, ad revenues, which is YouTube monetization, TikTok creators funds, podcast ads, affiliate marketing, and product placements. Subscriptions are also going to be taxed. I'm a Patreons, OnlyFans. Oh God, I thought I was going to run to that when I don't have my school. And also membership models, even free gifts or products that have value influencers are getting as freebies are now going to be taxed.
But I think it's also an issue caused by when influencers show how wealthy they got from content creating. Because like it wouldn't be a problem if content creators just like reviewed products or stick to what they were doing. But if you're now showing us what house you were able to buy, what apartment you were able to buy,
We're not gonna
what
get
car-
jealous.
What you
The
were
other
able
problem
to buy.
is also that, remember, if you need to buy a car or if you need to buy a
Exactly.
house, you need to go through credit review. But then now, if a brand decides they want to give you a car, it means you do not have to go through all of that. So now the government sees that, okay, there's a loophole, people can actually dodge the system, and that's why prisoners like Thabo Best can even negotiate in their own cases, because it's crazy how he told the judge that he cannot plead his case because he doesn't have access to information because he's behind bars. So how is he expected to plead his case? It means that he must be given access to a device. And guess what? He was given access to his laptop so that he can gather all and plead his case. Gamnandi nje, you know.
And scam
These are the loopholes. They are found in the law. They're found in the financial system, the economy, and it's just
It's
And
very
the trail
interesting.
Bigger problems for the normal person just like starting out and like doing normal content creating. Because like if I'm just getting 100 rand from content creating, but like I now have to be taxed 100 times more than the average person that like doesn't get. Because if you have already been a content creator for like 5+ years now, you
In the
have now
game,
like a steady income. You have more than like 4K,
5,
so like 4K income per, not 4K income, like a more than like a 5-figure salary per month now from content creating. But if I'm just starting out and I'm getting 100 rand a month from my content creating and I'm being taxed on that 100 rand, I'm never really gonna gain something from content
making no
creating.
profit.
Because like the previous content creators now were able to like build funds, they were able to now build like steady like wealth from their content creating.
Yes.
And now I can't even like get going because like my 100 rand is already 90% tax now. So I'm gonna have to make do with that 10 cent the government gave me now.
But then you may need to register as a taxpayer if you're earning above 95,750 and 2025 threshold for under 65s, right? But with what you just mentioned, it's very interesting because that 100 rand is a profit, or it's not even a profit to you because you spent so much money on mics, lights, getting yourself that iPhone, right? But now what we can advise people is to keep the receipts, expenses like data, ring lights, cameras, editing softwares could be also deductible from that, because that's also a means of service because you're also paying VAT. On that. So it becomes very interesting, man. And I like the fact that we got into full discourse about that, because it particularly pertains us as creatives, especially since we are also trying to build somewhat of a media
Platform.
Media agency. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. So of course now we're gonna be taxed. And it's gonna be not nice when it's that time to be taxed, because everybody enjoys the money when it's coming in. But now you are gonna be facing punitive damages if you don't pay for tax. There are penalties.
Sure, there'll be consequences.
Look at Moshindiki. He's owing 1 million rand worth of tax.
Yeah.
All celebrities always come out owing tax.
MaMkhize as well. She went through a lot of drags with SARS.
You see?
It's just crazy.
Shaun Mkhize. Okay, let me
Mkhize.
say something. You see with the Mkhizes, that lady, you know, yes.
I've watched the reality show. I've watched the reality show.
Thing is, I'm sad on her behalf because I literally wanted her to be lavish. I enjoy it because, like, bro, I don't understand people who will be hating on her, especially on her son, Andile. Yo, bro, if I had an opportunity to be spoiled and have all the things, bro, let's not lie to each other and say you wouldn't do what he's doing.
Enjoy that. Yeah, let's be real.
Let's be real now. It's like we were having this other question with my boys where I was asking them, if you're in a position like Petrus Motsepe, right? And you are given an opportunity to become president, would you take that opportunity or not? Given that when you have so much power, it's easy for you to fall under corruption.
I would
And
not
you're gonna
become
have,
president.
huh?
I would not be president.
Same.
I mean, it's so much responsibility. No, it's so much responsibility.
I would, Mina. I would grab the bull by its horns. I would take the
You're a
chance.
stakeholder.
I would. Lalela. I will president my way.
But like, I feel like the president is like almost like your social media influencing that everyone always sees and everyone's
Yeah.
always in their business all the time. No matter if they say no, yes, whatever, they are
Everything they
always
say,
in their eye.
yeah.
And like everything they say is like with a microscope analyzed. It's like, how dare he say that?
Yeah.
How dare he say
I would be
that?
the one to have the balls to break whatever treaty that South Africans or Africans have made in the past 50, 100 years. I would have the balls to do that, whether we get sanctioned or not, as long as everything goes back to us, and we would have to start from scratch as South Africans. China did the very same thing, and today China is very respected, and each and every individual that is in another country from China is valued as well. So I would be the one I would literally cut whatever international ties that do not benefit South Africa, but just an exploitation of what we have, regardless of what the consequence is, whether the economy breaks down for 20 years or 15 years, as long as we are away from these bondages
So you want us to
that
go
we-
to recession,
that we face,
basically.
such that there's countries that are a superpower. How is the United States a superpower but actually benefits literally everything from South Africa? It doesn't make sense. Or from Africa as a whole. The world is nothing without Africa, but now they're saying America is a superpower.
They like
I
Make
get
it
your
make
point
sense
there with being
because the
president.
stupid documentation put in place, such as policies. Imagine that policies that were designed by our colonizers, and we still need to follow those policies till today, especially in educational sectors as well, because I mean, if you go through the government gazette years back, there was this whole bilingual, to say that the first, imagine writing policies for South African people in a country that has literally 9 African languages, and you decide to write policies in just English and Afrikaans.
Exactly.
And then you ignore the cultural context of each and every African being, which makes most of the population,
Exactly.
but then it doesn't matter. Africans must be disconnected from their culture anyway.
But then that's very interesting, the point that you just raised. And I would like to go back when you mentioned that how Americans like to be put in a place, in a point of superiority. And then Africans, where they draw most of their things in South Africa. Like, not so they always quick to, for example, Tyla, they took her from South Africa, right? So now they tried to own her, and then South Africans took her back, right? In some way, in social media context. And now they are always trying to humble her in some type of way. We're trying to humble her. We're trying to, she's an uppity African and whatsoever. Which brings me to think, Tyla has identified herself as a colored and recognizes the racial category in South Africa in a US radio interview, because the word colored carries a very different painful history in the US. Many listeners reacted negatively, thinking she was rejecting distancing herself from being black. Tiwa Savage, during an interview on The Breakfast Club, offered an apology on Tyla's behalf, saying that her culture elders must sometimes speak for younger ones in situations of misunderstandings. But yet Tyla responded in her performance. I forgot, where was it? Global Citizen event, and it was like, sorry, not sorry.
I really feel like this was it was not her place to be apologizing on Tyla's behalf like that.
Exactly, that's very rude.
I know she had good intentions, maybe, but the way it came across was just no. Because how do you just erase a whole ethnicity? How do you just erase a whole race? That in South Africa it means one thing, but why does it have to be just because it's in the US? Now it's. I get they had a different point of view of being claimed colored, but in South Africa it's who we are, and it's part of who we are as well. So.
And I think also on like that point of like trying to erase the colored, it also with your point even like previously before, like when you said about the languages, like how when like South Africa was now like the constitution was being set up and everything, how the indigenous people of South Africa were out of this discussion when the Constitution was putting in place. Like imagine the place where basically your people started. The conversation is not in you. Imagine you build a house and then you people put you out of your house. And then they're like, oh my word, let's like reinvite everyone that lived in the house before. And then you that created the house, you built the house. You made the house it is now. And then people saying you can't come back to decide where okay, they're selling the house now. And then they're like, no, you can't have a share in the house. But you built the house from the ground up. Imagine.
It's like a scam.
And like I feel like that's the same way when we talk about colors, like how like indigenous people were put into that grouping with to say like now you fall under colors, you must be fine with it and whatever. Because like if we go into colors, like color doesn't necessarily mean black and white. It means so many other things, but then we're just grouping everyone together being like
so many mixed people.
Exactly. And then we're like not taking account into like how many different racial mixtures groups we have in there, and then it's like okay, they all have one type.
Which
and like
even
not taking into account that as an American as well, because like I feel like America was very insensitive by saying she does not understand, but at the same time they do not understand the colored struggle, because like they do not understand the day-to-day like struggle of a colored, because now you have to like when you introduce yourself as colored, you now have to explain your whole genealogy of how you came to be. Because like you can't let just people assume, because like when people assume color, they assume black and white. But now you have to be like, no, but I'm Indian, no, but I'm like I'm Chinese, no, I'm just you Malay. And like for them just like being like, and Tiwa Savage being like, I'm sorry on her behalf. Like I understand, because if someone from like a different country came here and they said the K word, it would be like, and they introduced themselves as the K word, it would be understandable, because like they don't understand the context of like how much that word has.
And we are not like too barbaric to project ourselves upon those
Exactly.
people.
And I feel like for them being like totally ignorant to the colored struggle, and when she identified herself as colored, it's like it was so arrogant of them, you know, to not do their research as well, because she's a foreigner on a national show. Like I feel like many times when people like artists, they like artists because the artist fits into their type
category.
Category. So I feel like that was very insensitive of like them being like, no, she's not colored, she's black, when it's not the case.
That is very true. They literally ignored her entire context because they didn't take into account the fact that the people in the United States, why do they maybe refer to themselves as African American? It's the same thing as Tyla would come and say, I'm from Africa, but I do not identify as black, I identify as colored. And then maybe take an opportunity to say, wow, why are you from Africa and you refer to yourself as colored, so that Tyla would probably break down the cultural context of it, you know, because they are well entitled to call themselves whatever they feel like they identify as. So now if you carry a completely different identity and you want to come and impose your very own identity on someone else, is simply exactly what apartheid and slavery did.
Colonization as a whole. Any last few thoughts, Nosipo, before I wrap up the show?
You know, like I feel people shouldn't be judged by like what race they identify as. I feel like people now need to take a step forward when people identify themselves as being a certain racial group or being of a certain like racial background. They should educate themselves as to being why they are. Because I'm half black and I'm half colored. But then people try to categorize me as saying choose one. I'm not going to choose one. I'm going to choose both. Because like if I have to choose someone, I mean I think less of the other. And like I look black, but I was socialized colored. But like I may be treated as a black person, but the way I talk, the way I say certain stuff, the way I walk even, like the way I drag myself up, maybe as a colored person. But like at the same time, I am a black person as well. I go through the struggles of a black person. When I write my name down on a form, people see this as a black female. So like I feel like that categorization of people have to pick one when they're a mixed race.
Yes,
I feel like that people need to educate themselves before doing something.
That's why I just
Totally
don't like
agree.
even the racial grouping. Why do we have to, every time we apply, I know it's for stats, everything you apply for, choose your race, black, white, colored. Why? We said we were going to be a rainbow nation,
Exactly.
right? But hey man, and that's it from us, fried_up_fact, and that's our social media handle, and we go by Grandpa the Painkiller with no spaces, and that is on YouTube, Spotify, Twitch, and all other DSPs. And of course, mina nginkosana kumetrungubani kungizbiza ukumane mandla_gami love on in your ears, and akambi gedwa I got no sipo Carl Stender on the mic, check Bahati, and we are wrapping it up. It's a wrap. I'm leaving with nothing except for peace and love.
Bye.
Signing out.
Signing out. Let's
Yeah,
go.
that was a good one. That was a good one. I liked the content. Ginala. Oh, your content. The content was nice.
We should
Controversial, but nice. You see the controversy. Don't tell me you were lost.
Do they like control you guys, like remote you? Just come alone.
I'm also a model, as you can see, and I'm currently Miss KZN Queen finalist.
You literally, when it comes to your clothes, they're very cheap. They're very cheap. They're very cheap because there used to be like also like rumors of like for you to be Miss South Africa or Miss what must be a virgin.